Going back, fast forward to you came back, well, you came to LA officially.
Yep.
So you started booking smaller roles, or what initially happened?
Yeah, so when I first got here, you know, when you hear this voice of God, honey, you like, they waiting on me. Honey, they here. And I got here, won't nobody here. Okay, they won't wait on Tab. Honey, Macy's was waiting on me. I had to go get a job.
Right.
And so I went, I was working at Macy's.
Which Macy's were you at?
Century City.
Okay.
And I worked there for my first 5 years of being in LA. Because I also, as soon as I got here, my mom started getting sick back home. So I was back and forth until '07, until she passed away. And so, but I started acting classes. I was one of the first people when Tasha Smith had an acting school, TSAW. So I was in her first group. And so we would all, you know, we all kind of came up together. A lot of those working actors who are now like people that you see, we all started in this group together. Mm-hmm. And then I would audition. So I was doing music videos back in the day. I was doing any type of infomercial, commercials, honey, straight to DVD movies. I got so many of them. Please don't look them up. Okay, that's the old Tab, Jesus. But that's also my story, right? Mm-hmm. But I was doing a lot of things. BET, I did, Hell Date back in the day. I was one of the girls that played one of the crazy sisters, like, for Kedar. But I did a lot of very small roles and was very happy about it. Every job that I booked, whether it was free or $50, I thought it was going to be the job that blew me up. It didn't matter. I would come home and tell my husband, honey, this is it right here. And I done booked the one this time. Every job.
So were you trying to psych yourself out, or you really believed that?
It.
You believed it?
I believed it with my whole heart that that was going to be it.
And what would your husband say?
He'd be like, okay, babe. Listen, after years of that, it was just kind of like, it's hard to believe. So but God has shown me my life. He had shown me these glimpses of what I was going to have. And I could not figure out when or how. But I would just tell my husband all the time, I'm telling you, God showed me, like, I'm going to make it. And he'd be like, okay.
But I need to know how did you stay driven and committed to still get up and continue to,
Yeah, to pursue.
Yeah, because your story is inspiring, but it's also a lot of people come to Hollywood, come to LA, or even like New York, and they keep at it, and sometimes they don't keep at it. So right. I'm just wondering what made you keep going?
Well, for me, it's one thing. When you hear a voice, right, it's always just been inside of me, like that reminder. And then there will be other very small reminders that are actually very big. Over the years when I was working, because I always worked. I worked while I waited, right? I never want people to be confused by I was just pursuing a dream. I was pursuing a dream, but I always had a job, right? But I would see people, and I ain't like nobody that you would know, like I'm not famous, right? But people would be like, aren't you on that show? And I'd be like, and they'd be like, you don't do a show with kids? No, but then God whispered to me one day, he said, they see your destiny. Those are the things that would keep me going. But also this desire that I have inside of me to perform. When I don't do it, I don't feel well.
Okay.
Right? It's just this thing. If you look at, my daddy has all these old tapes. I was talking to him yesterday. He said, I'm going to put these things on the, DVD so I can see them. But he has all these old tapes of me as a child. And every time he goes, what you going to be when you grow up? I'm like, I'm going to be in Hollywood. I'm going to be a movie star, Daddy. I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to have a TV show. It's just always been in me. I feel like it's what I was called to do. So even if I wanted to quit, it won't let me.
Okay.
The only time that I ever, other than when I was in North Carolina and thought I couldn't have it anymore, the only other time is when I was sick. And I didn't want to quit. I just was like, God, am I going to be able to keep doing it? Because I was so sick, I thought I was going to die.
Right.
But it's just, I love it. I love it. Even if I wasn't making a lot of money, I would still do it. I did it for free and for nothing for many years and still worked a job so that I could afford to live my dream and pursue it. And thank God I got an amazing husband who always had a real career. And he did that so that I could pursue my dreams.
Okay.